What's up, everybody? Today is Thursday, July 15th, and me and Michael are back at it again to talk some soccer. Michael, what's up?
Not much. I'm sad the Euros are over.
I know, it was a great tournament.
Ready for the domestic season now. That's pretty much.
Michael, show everyone your jersey.
Got the Italy jersey.
If anyone doesn't remember, Michael was pretty hardly cheering for England, but hey.
I was.
You know what? If they win, you got to put the jersey on.
It's one of those beautiful things where, I like Italy as a team. That's like my international team, but I was rooting for England, so I couldn't lose. So once England lost, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Forza Italia.
Yeah, I was disappointed the rest of the day, but I kind of got over it. We'll get into that in a little bit, and that's just ended up being blown way out of proportion with everything that's going on. But
yeah,
some quick new things, real quick. I don't know if you saw this, but Arsenal lost their first preseason match. They missed a penalty, and I guess their goalie made a terrible mistake. It is the preseason, so these aren't players, but that's not a good look.
You love to see it.
Yeah, it's not a good look. I texted my brother. He's an Arsenal fan. He's like, the team's a disaster.
Yeah.
And also Messi signed a new deal, 5-year deal with Barcelona. The only thing this really does for me in the Messi kind of Ronaldo debate, it's clear that Messi is now Tom Brady, and he's going to take less money for the team to be good. And I don't really like that, but whatever. I will say, it would be tough to picture Messi playing anywhere else with Barcelona.
Yeah, for sure. I like it. I want him to retire with Barcelona.
Yeah, I think at this point you might as well. And today we're going to kind of get into a little preview of the La Liga and Serie A, and then maybe next week we'll do a show on League One and the Bundesliga, and then we'll obviously do a more in-depth coverage or preview of the EPL season. I don't know if you noticed, but after the final after the Euro final, I know Arsenal obviously played it already, but everyone's in action this weekend. It is the preseason, so I don't expect really any real players, but they are just going right at it, and good for them, I guess. All right, so we're gonna start out with a little bit of trivia. All right, just for anyone answering, if you guess it right, good for you, Michael. Cristiano Ronaldo is the all-time leading scorer in the European Championship, and second is Michael Platini from France. In third, which player is tied with Alan Shearer for the third most all-time goals in the European Championship? I give you a hint. It's a current player.
I have no idea. I'm gonna say, I have no idea. Is it Zlatan?
No, it is Antoine Griezmann.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Wow.
That's why I made a trivia question. I was kind of looking around for trivia, and I was like, "There's no way," because he's only played in two Euros. Really, I guess 2 Euros.
Because he went crazy last Euros, right? He was player of the tournament, I guess.
Yeah, and he's heading. We'll get into him with Barcelona, but whatever. Today in sports history, I always like to highlight either rugby or cricket because I don't know if we have any listeners that are from England or other countries. They probably care a lot about more cricket and rugby. Sure. But in 1902, when I read these also, I have no idea what any of it means. In 1902, Indian-born England test batsman K.S., I'm not even going to say it, scores 180 before lunch for Sussex versus Surrey in a county cricket match at Hastings. Finishes unbeaten on 234. You have any idea what that means?
Congrats.
I started doing it on the Man to Man podcast with Tom, and we just kind of stuck to it. It's I think we're actually gonna do maybe a fantasy cricket league. So if you might be interested in that,
I might have to join that.
Yeah. So but let's get into some of the more current events in soccer around the world. Obviously, let's talk about the Euro blowback. Congratulations to Italy. I don't really have much to say about Italy. If you want to say some stuff, go ahead. Mine is more questions for the England side.
Yeah. I mean, I think after the first 20 minutes, Italy kind of deserved to win.
Yeah.
obviously it was England just didn't play well, but Italy's team is just they seem to just be so well formed. And like the back line's insane. Chiellini and Bonucci are insane.
Yeah, I mean they'll probably play in the World Cup
Yeah,
next year, but after that
they're so good.
they got to be done after that. So now I guess we switch to the England side. I don't know where to put all the blame necessarily, but I'm not gonna lie, I put a lot of blame on Southgate. I mean, Luke
agree.
Shaw scored that second-minute goal, and then I think he honestly expected to just fall back and sit back for 88 minutes and try to hold Italy from scoring.
I think Luke Shaw's goal kind of hurt them in the grand scheme of things, because I think if they didn't score, they would have played more aggressive the whole game. But I would put the majority of it on Southgate too, because
Yeah.
those players they're not like falling back just because they want to. Like they're doing what the coach says. So
Yeah, and like the substitutions he made, I mean, he brought on Saka, which I mean that's fine. But bringing on Jordan Henderson, and then taking him off in the extra time, like that just you can't make that. Like, why did you even make that sub? Why? And then I feel terrible for. I mean, what started out is maybe the best day. I think I told you it's the best day for United. Ended so horribly.
yeah,
I do feel really bad for Rashford, and I'll get into him and everything with what's going on with him and Sancho and Saka. I will say Raheem Sterling, I don't know how he doesn't step up to take a kick. I just don't. I don't know him as a human being, but as one of the probably more veteran players on the team and a leader, I don't understand how you allow two 21-year-olds and an 18-year-old to step up and take a PK before you do.
I mean, I agree. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say, because obviously it's not like Southgate went, Sterling, you want to take one, and he said no. Like you have to think he wanted to take one, but Southgate went and chose otherwise. So, I mean, maybe he's following like the orders of the manager, but I would expect him to take one.
And having Rashford take a penalty, I don't. Rashford, that probably wasn't even his biggest penalty of his life. The PSG one might have been bigger. I knew when the slow run up came, I knew it was going to miss because he either I don't know why he decided to go with the slow run up, but because in the past he just goes right for it and goes for power usually. Right when he ran up, I knew it was going to hit it, and then it just hits the post and goes out. And then Sancho. I guess the other thing is we really need to give a lot of credit to Donnarumma. I mean, I think he's from now until another guy comes. I think he's the best in the world right now. I mean, he's so big, and you could probably see it more on TV, in my opinion. But like, just how much space he's able to cover, just diving one way. Like you have to perfectly place it because if he guesses right, he's probably going to get it.
Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah, and I give credit to Pickford. I mean, probably the scariest, 0.02 seconds of his life when it hit off the post and then like hit his back kind of. He was like, oh my, I thought for sure it was going in.
Yeah.
But he saved it. And then, Saka coming in. But yeah, in my opinion, England's still going to be strong going forward. I think they're a real threat at the next World Cup. This is more of a question for you. England seems the way are formed and the way they play, like Kane should thrive with the speedy wingers and the midfield play. Granted, it wasn't great, and I don't really blame Kane for anything, especially because he came in and drilled the penalty kick. But like, it just seems like they couldn't get him the ball. I don't know.
I mean, as a Spurs fan who watches every Spurs game, you have to blame the England players, I think, like other than Kane. I mean, obviously Kane is at fault when he doesn't score. Like he should score. Like he had 0 touches in Italy's penalty box, which is obviously a problem. But watching Spurs, they get him the ball as much as possible. Like the more times Kane touches it, the more good things happen because he passes great. He has good decision making. He scores a lot. So I mean, I don't think he works well with the system that England has,
Yeah,
really.
I don't think so either. I mean, especially with the guys they have on the wing. I know he plays forward, but it's almost like it seems like I feel like they should get him the ball as like in a false nine and let him either attack
Yeah.
the goal or let him find the wingers or find people like that. Like it feels like that would be so much better for him. Like I said, I don't blame him. I blame Southgate mostly.
Yeah.
And then I guess we have to. We'll be quick on this, but I mean the racism.
It's, I mean, as bad as it say, it was expected. Like
Yeah.
because I could tell because the first two to take the penalty was Kane and Maguire, who are both
Which,
white.
I gotta say, Maguire making his.
What a penalty!
I
What
was
a
shocked
penalty.
when he stepped up. I was like, "What? What are you doing? Why?"
Yeah.
But
then the next three happened to be African American or black, and they all missed. I was like, oh my god, this is like the worst thing that could have happened. And then of course it's like instant that it's just online abuse.
And then obviously they defaced the Rashford mural, and I don't know if you saw it. I'm sure you heard of it. Rashford wrote the letter. Rashford's. I mean, I've said it before. He had a bad year, and now I mean we'll get to it later. We don't really need to. He's out till mid-October with a shoulder injury. But he's a better dude than anything. And I was listening to another podcast, one of the Barstool podcasts. They have a Arsenal fan that does one. Troops, his name is, and he was. I mean, he kind of said it right. He's like, the England fans pick and choose when to like and when to hate the black players or the African American players. Because I guarantee you, if they would have won that and maybe only Saka missed and only Rashford missed, I mean, they would love them. I mean, the majority of the players on the England team are black, so I just don't get it. Like, it is somewhat the same in like America, but I just feel like it's taken so much overboard overseas.
Yeah, I agree. And like you can just like I don't know if this is true, but I feel like just a lot of spots in Europe are just so much more racist than like openly racist than America.
Yeah, I mean, and
for sure, I'd say.
I don't know what's going on. There's like a blur in my face. I don't know how that showed up.
I don't know. It might be a little smudge on your camera or something.
Whatever. We'll work
there
with
we
it.
Go.
Yeah, it was. But overall, I think we said it before. Great tournament. Honestly, awesome. Everything I expected it to be and more. It was great. I think you think so too, but you can go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was one of the best tournaments. Like because each game was just so close. Like there was not many blowout games. I feel like it was just England, Ukraine in the knockouts that was 4-0. Everything else was like 1-1, 5-3, 2-2. It was all great.
Yeah, I would say probably 70% of the games, or even 75% of the matches in the whole tournament were exciting and good. So
yeah,
that's all you got to want from a Euro. Obviously, I wish England would have won, but whatever. Like I said, Rashford will be out to mid-October with a shoulder injury. He did have a bad year last year. I hope he bounces back. But there's also a scenario I see where Sancho coming in and kind of overtaking his place. I don't know. I hope the best for him. I love Rashford. He's my favorite United player, but he needs to have a better season if you want. I mean, if United want to win the EPL, he needs to have a better season. So
yeah.
But and then we talked about Arsenal lost the first preseason match. Arteta's still the manager, right?
He is.
Like, why is he still the manager?
I don't know.
That was my brother's biggest like rift with it. He's like, I have no idea why Mikel Arteta is still the manager.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's weird. They look like a long season ahead. They didn't get many transfers in. I don't think, did they?
I don't think they've gotten any yet.
Yeah,
nothing noteworthy. I don't think. No like headliners.
Yeah, so it's not looking good for Arsenal. It kind of reminds me of the slump United went in after Alex Ferguson retired, kind of, and then going from Louis Van Gaal to David Moyes. So they'll get back on top eventually, but it doesn't look good for Arsenal right now. All right, we talked about Messi's new deal. Do we think Messi's going to start slowing down anytime? I mean, I think he kind of regressed a little bit last year, but there comes a point where he's got to start slowing down.
I don't think so. I think he's just always going to be good. I think it's
okay. All right.
I mean, he had the most goals in the Copa and Ronaldo had the most in the Euros. So it's just like, it's like old times. Nothing's changed.
I hope La Liga's like that again. Back to the good thing in England, they have made 4 arrests in the racism cases. Good. Those guys should get jail time. I don't really care. They should get jail time.
Yeah.
Whether it be 30 days. Whether it be 30 days or whatever. But yeah, I guess we just lost Michael for a second. Hopefully he just gets back in. But yeah, whether it be 30 days, those guys need to go to jail. So yeah,
I don't know what just happened.
It's fine. Did you click off it or something?
No, it just said I had an internet problem, but
okay, good. All right, yeah. No, if it ever happens between both of us, just kind of talk for 30 seconds. They should be
yeah.
But yeah, we're just saying those guys should get jail time no matter what it is. The next biggest story I thought, which is, this just speaks La Liga, like it is what it is. It speaks Real Madrid. The Florentino Perez recorded messages. Did you see anything about that?
Yeah, what an idiot!
Exactly.
Does he want his job? I honestly can't tell if he wants to keep his job.
And this was back in 2012, so I will say, it may have been more secretive then. Maybe you didn't think people were going to be recording you, but nowadays and age, I would never say anything in public, or unless I'm in a locked room with somebody and I've checked them for wires, I wouldn't say anything dumb. And then just him going after 2 of the best players in Real's history. Casillas and Ronaldo.
Yeah,
it's just
just so dumb.
Yeah, it was silly.
So
I didn't really. Yeah, it was dumb, and yeah, what an idiot. And then I just saw this today. This makes no sense to me. Apparently, I don't think Haaland's going to move. I think Borussia Dortmund would be crazy to give him away this summer. Mm-hmm. I think he'll leave probably next summer or the summer after that for probably the biggest transfer fee in the world. But I saw today that there are talks with Chelsea ongoing and that they're willing to throw in Tammy Abraham in the deal, which I don't know a ton about Tammy Abraham, but he's not even on the same level as Haaland.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so I don't think that makes sense.
Yeah, everyone, they always throw Tammy Abraham. They're like, oh, Chelsea want Kane, and we'll throw in Tammy Abraham.
Yeah.
Well, is Tammy Abraham that good? Because he didn't play at all last season.
Exactly. It's like your friend in fantasy football or fantasy basketball when they're like, hey, I'll trade you. Can I have James Harden and I'll give you 5 role players? And you're like, dude, what are you talking about? That's funny. And then I didn't know this, but the U.S. women's national team could be the first team in the history of women's soccer to win the World Cup and then the Olympics right after that.
I didn't know that either, but you gotta think they will.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up their roster because the Olympics are weird, right? They all have to be under 21, but you get 3 exceptions.
Is that how it is in women's also?
I believe so. I'm gonna look right now.
Yeah, because that's why the men's team is so weird looking. We don't know anybody really.
But yeah, we'll get to them in the Gold Cup. But I'm looking at it right now. It looks like Rapinoe's on it, Carly Lloyd's on it, Alex Morgan's on it. So
they have some players.
Yeah. This is the rule must not be it must be different for soccer or men's soccer and then Julie Ertz is on there too. So but you have to think they're just going to win again, right?
Yeah. There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to.
I would be shocked if they didn't win. And then the Gold Cup, they won. I didn't watch it. Did you watch? I don't know if you watched it.
I did not watch it.
They won 1-0 over somebody, and then they play again tonight.
I think they beat Haiti.
Yeah, I thought it was Haiti, but then I was mixing it
I'm,
up. I
I'm
thought I
pretty
was
sure it's
mixing it
Haiti.
up with like the assassination in Haiti.
Yeah, I
So
think that's why I remember that it was Haiti.
yeah, yeah. The only thing I'll really say about this, I don't know basically any of the. I mean, I know like Giassi Zardes and them, but I think I think it's good that they're going to give Reyna and Pulisic and all those big name guys kind of let them just go on to their club season, start training with them, give them some time off.
Yeah,
And then this way, hopefully, Berhalter can then get a look at some of these other guys that are going to have to, like, fill in the cracks on the squad for not the Olympics, the World Cup.
yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of this guy. I've become enamored with him. I don't know why. Gianluca Busio.
Haven't
He's
heard of him.
18. Like 2-3 years ago, he signed the second youngest, or the second. I mean, he was the second youngest player to sign an MLS contract. Obviously, Freddie Adu was the youngest. Uh, Quick note: I saw Freddie Adu play for the DC United in
Hmm.
his first season. We bought tickets on like a family vacation, and he played for like 3 minutes, and it was a waste of time. But yeah, he plays for Sporting Kansas City, and he's really good. I think he's really good. He's trying to go over to Europe. There have been interested teams. Anyone who doesn't really know of him, I would just look up his goals and his assists.
Hmm.
He is, if you look at him, he is Weston McKennie, basically reincarnated. They're the same. They look the same. They're the same midfield, like short players. But I will say he is on the roster for the Gold Cup, so I'm hoping. Um, I'll probably watch. They play Canada on Sunday, I believe. I'll probably watch that one. I gotta tell you, I'm not probably going to tune into Martinique tonight. So
I've never even heard of that.
yeah, so
Like whatever it is, a region, an island. So
yeah, but yeah, so that's pretty much it for what else is going on in current events. Unless you got anything else, I think we. Which one you want to start with, Serie A or La Liga?
let's do the Italian league.
All right, all right. So obviously, like I said, you're way smarter than this. Me, Inter won it last year, correct?
Inter won.
Yes.
So the teams in the Champions League for this year is Inter, AC Milan, Atalanta, and Juve.
Okay, so no Napoli.
Napoli was fifth, Lazio was sixth, and Roma was seventh.
Okay, yeah.
So I think that means Roma is in the new European Cup or whatever. They added a new thing for the team right below the Europa League, which is what Tottenham is in. That's why I know about it. So I think if it's the same in every league, it's whoever got seventh. So I think it's Roma, but I mean that doesn't matter.
That's just March Madness. Basically March Madness, and then they had the NIT always, and now they added the CBI or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
it
no, I mean,
it,
it's good. It's good to play. It's good to play in those tournaments,
yeah.
no matter what it is.
I'm just hoping it's Tottenham's first trophy in a while. So
Yeah, you gotta hope so, right?
yeah,
So the top four this year. I mean, I guess we could talk about transfers in. It's been an odd summer with the Euros going on because it seems like nothing has really happened.
yeah. There haven't been any big ones yet, really.
Yeah. So
I think the biggest one so far is Fikayo Tomori from Chelsea is now permanent on AC Milan. Is it on AC Milan? He was on loan there, but they just permanently transferred him. So I think that's the most expensive this summer. But most of the Italian league, I think, is players leaving. That like it's because the team, like the Italy national team, played so well. So everyone, we want to buy all the players, so they're all leaving now.
Okay. Okay. I mean, well, they still got, Juventus, Cristiano Ronaldo, and
Inter still has Lukaku. And
yeah. And then obviously, I guess we don't know what the case is going to be with Ericsson. I would be kind of surprised if he played this calendar year. It wouldn't shock me if maybe later next spring he starts playing, but I'd be pretty surprised if he played this upcoming fall and winter. I mean, he almost died, man. Like, just take some time with your family or something. Like, come on. So I guess who do you think will finish top four?
I'm gonna go. I think Juventus will win. I'm gonna say Juve, Inter, Roma, and Atalanta.
Okay. I don't know that. What's happened to AC Milan? They used to be so good. Are they in money
Yeah.
problems?
Well, I mean, they got second last year, but they have Zlatan still, and they just lost Donnarumma.
They don't have. I thought
They do.
Zlatan still played for the Galaxy.
No, he plays for AC Milan. He
Oh.
went back,
He's
but
like, how old is he now? Like 45?
I think he might be 39, 38.
No,
It's
so
gotta be.
he's got a
But
couple more years.
I mean, I think after AC Milan was like the best team in the world for so long, the only way you can go is down. So they're still like down. They're not back yet.
So I'm looking at. I pulled up the Wikipedia. It looks like the top four will go to the Champions League. 5 will go to the Europa League, and then 6th goes to Europa Conference League playoff round. So I don't know if that's the Europa.
No, is it the Conference League? Because that's the thing that Tottenham's in, the European Conference League. So I guess it switches for each league who goes. Because I know some leagues they get 2 Europa League teams, like automatically, and then for Premier League, I think whoever's in 6th has to do a playoff.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of looking it up. I clearly need to do a little more research on this. This is a long Wikipedia page,
Yeah.
but I think Juventus win again. I agree. I think Inter will actually once again be very good. I do think they're going to have trouble without Eriksen in there. Being a midfielder for them, and then who's on Atlanta?
Atalanta, it doesn't have any no names you'd probably recognize, but they're just like a good team.
Okay, I'll go with Atalanta, and then 4th I'll go with Napoli. They are always just good, and I believe Insigne still plays for them, correct?
Insigne and Dries Mertens, the Belgian.
Yeah. So I think they'll be back up into qualifying. I guess we instead of that's on the outline. My bad. Who do you think the most disappointing team heading into it? What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna say because they did so well last year, AC Milan. But if we're just talking biggest switch in the table, I'm gonna say it's Sassuolo, which is not a very known team, but they got 8th. But their best or their 2 of their best players was Nico Berardi and Manuel Locatelli, and they're both probably going to leave now because they played so well. So I'm going to say they dropped pretty far.
I'm going to do a weird one. To me, it almost, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. It seems like with Eriksen out, Inter is going to struggle a little bit with it, at least to begin with. So in all reality, you would think that Juventus should run away with it. I think they'll be the most disappointing team just by the fact that it's going to be a race all year long. I feel when Ronaldo first went there, they won the league, I believe, pretty easily. And then last year, I don't really know what happened, but they obviously didn't win the league. And then more broad, I guess I'll say, you kind of brought it up, but if all of Italy's players are getting stolen from Italy, the league's bound to have a down year.
Yeah.
So, and I believe Serie A is the only. Did they sign a deal with ESPN Plus?
I don't know.
I think they did. I think they did last year or 2 years ago when Raul first went there. I think right now though they're the only league because I know La Liga is going to ESPN Plus this year.
Yeah.
And then so I think they're the only league that don't have a big American partnership in TV, I would say. So that'll hurt them big time.
Yeah.
Just from a money standpoint, but
sure.
All right, moving on. I'll move it around. Who do you think will? So in the Champions League, they have obviously Inter, Juventus, and then who else did you say?
AC Milan and Atalanta.
all right, who do you think goes farther in the Champions League? Or I guess if you think one of them are going to win it, go ahead.
I mean, Inter have the best chances because they got first, so they're gonna be the best in their group
Yep.
technically.
Mm-hmm.
But Inter's been terrible in the Champions League recently. Like they didn't even get out of the group stage last year.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say Juventus, but Juventus is gonna have a harder group because they're in fourth. So they're gonna have to like hope for second place probably if they're like in a group with PSG or Bayern or someone like that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say Juventus.
I'll agree with you there. Like I said, I think Napoli's going to be back and good again. I've always liked Napoli. Obviously they're not in the Champions League, but I think they're going to bounce back in the league. I agree with Juventus. Inter. I mean, for whatever reason, that there are just certain clubs that don't play well against the rest of the world, whether it be for the players, the manager, whatever. And who was the last Serie A team to win the Champions League? I would think it was.
I think it was Inter. I think it was Inter with Mourinho.
Yeah, he did do that. That was like the early 2000s, wasn't it?
I think it was like 2008, maybe. Let's see.
Here, I'm looking at it. It's terrible podcast.
So
I think it is Inter. It was a while ago, though. Yeah.
Inter in 2010.
Yeah.
To beat Bayern 2-0.
Yeah, and especially like you said, if their players are getting poached off, it might be a down year for them. But you almost have to just go with Juventus just because of the familiarity they have with the Champions League. But then again, you're right with the fact that they're probably going to get stuck with a PSG or a Bayern or Man City or something like that. So that's interesting, at least. Breakout star from the Serie A.
I want to say one of the people who was on the Italian team, like someone who's kind of continue it. So like, if Spinazzola was healthy, I'd probably say Spinazzola, but I'll say like, I don't know if Chiesa can even be a breakout star. He's been good for Juventus, but I feel like this gave a lot of the Italian players a lot of press. So like everyone knows their name now. So I think it could be him. It could be Berardi, Barella. It could be it. It's one of those, I think, one of the Italian team players.
I'm going to go a little different kind of path than you on that one. Matisse Delight obviously still had a good season for Juventus last year, but I think this is the year where he kind of steps up and it becomes in the conversation of one of the top defenders, center backs in the world. So, I'm almost just hoping for that too, because it would make the Netherlands. I think he plays for the Netherlands, right?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, the Netherlands would be back good. So, I think he's really going to step up. He at the time Juventus bought him, he was the most expensive defensive player transfer, I believe, in the history.
I think so.
Because I think it surpassed Maguire to United.
I think he was before Maguire, or were they the same time?
I think they were the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they were the same time.
It might be because he was a beast on Ajax.
Yeah, he was. I remember he was by far their best player. But yeah. So I think he kind of steps up and takes becomes one of the top players in the world. I'm just going to skip this one for now because you said a lot of players really haven't transferred in from the Serie A. So we'll just skip that one for this. Top goal scorer.
I think it's between three. It's between Lukaku, Ronaldo, and Immobile. Because Immobile, he only had like 2 goals in the Euros, but he always scores for Lazio. Like he's the guy to score. But out of those 3, I'm gonna say it's Immobile. I'm gonna go Immobile.
I'm going to stick with Lukaku. But yeah, he just seemed to have such a good form of run. Obviously last year, and then when they lost in the Euros, I mean, not necessarily wasn't Lukaku's fault, but he's been in form, and I honestly think he's just so much bigger and stronger than basically everyone else other than Ronaldo, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he just his power gets him through a lot of to a lot of goals. And then
Yeah.
I pulled up some of the biggest matches. Obviously, you're going to have your Juventus. Here, I'll read them out loud. The Derby. Okay, never mind. Milan and Inter face off week in November 7th, and then in February. That's the. Do you know what that's called? The like it's the Battle of Milan, or yeah, it's not the Battle of Milan, but
I think they just call it the Milan Derby. I mean, there's probably an Italian name for it.
that's true. I guess we could just call it Dirt. I mean, it's just the Derby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess just kind of looking at which matches are you looking most forward to? I think whenever Inter and Juventus meet, and for the first time, wherever it be, I think that is a huge game, and that I think that's early or relatively early, so that'll kind of set the tone for the rest of the year. I'm looking at some of the week 1 matchups. Nothing too huge, but yeah, back to the same question. I don't know which ones intrigue you the most, I guess I would say.
I mean, there's all the obvious ones like with Juve, Milan, Inter, Napoli. I'm gonna say like when Roma plays Inter, Juventus, because Mourinho's at Roma now.
That's so, exactly what I was gonna say.
They're like, and Mourinho's he's just interesting, and he's going back to Inter where he played or where he was manager, and when he goes back to Juventus, he knows a lot of the guys. Like he loves Chiellini, even though he's never coached him. I don't think he loves Ronaldo, obviously. So that'll just be fun to see.
Yeah, I just to kind of get off topic real quick, more on Jose Mourinho. Do we think he's still one of the top managers in the world?
Seeing his season last year with Tottenham, I would say no.
I would tend to agree, but I think we would be in the minority.
Yeah, I don't think you can really bet against him.
Yeah, definitely.
But I was disappointed in him with my team. He seemed to kind of kill it.
I was very disappointed in him with my team as well, but
yeah,
I'll tell you what, he made every press conference interesting. So
yeah, I love his interviews are the best.
Oh yeah, and I love it when he sits up there, and he probably is smarter than 90% of the reporters, but he sits up there and he just knows he's smarter than all these people.
Yeah,
and, it's European soccer. It's just like European man. It's like the flair of the flamboyant European manager. I love it. I think we already went over the top goal scorer. I don't know anything else in Serie A you really want to talk about. Like I said, I believe that first they start September. No, wow, they start August 21st.
Yeah, I think most of the leagues start in August. I know the Premier League starts August 16th, I think.
Okay.
But
okay. And then
I've always liked watching Italian soccer. Like I think it's more competitive than like French soccer, I feel like. So I've always liked watching it.
I agree. I like Serie A and Bundesliga way more than I like La Liga. I think La Liga can be boring unless it's the big guys, unless it's basically Madrid's or Barcelona.
Yeah.
But I forgot to put this on here, but before we get to La Liga, do you know when the World Cup is scheduled next year? Did we already talk about this?
It's it's the summer, isn't it?
No.
It's not?
It's November 18th through December 15th.
That's a little odd.
Yeah, right? Well, because it's in Qatar. It's in Qatar, so they can't play in the summer.
Oh. So they must. So do they just pause the domestic seasons? Because the whole team's going to be gone.
Honestly, this was first brought to my attention on Sunday, the day of the final, last 2 weeks ago, whatever it is now. The last day of the final, my brother, I was watching with him, and he's like, "Yeah, it's going to be in the fall."
Interesting.
There's really two things I have to say about that. What do you? Because I know the African League of Nations, they kind of just let those guys go over and play because it's only a certain select few.
Right.
But I would think all the leagues have to shut down for like 2 months,
Well,
right?
yeah, because it's like called AFCON, their thing, so they let them go, right? I I kind of hope they don't shut down just to like see what the teams are, because like
It
obviously
would be,
everyone doesn't go to the World Cup. Like there's definitely some players who don't make their team, their country doesn't make it, whatever. But
like
can they field 11 on every team? I'd probably say no.
yeah, I would agree.
They'll
Probably
have to.
not. And this
They'll
isn't
probably
just
just call it like the World Cup break or something. How they
yeah.
do the international break.
No, but you're right up the alley there. Where like Jesse Lingard is, and this is just one player. Like Jesse Lingard is never going to be on the England squad again. But it would be kind of cool to see him be like one of the top 5 players in the league for a month and a half.
He'd probably be like the best player. Like, because
Yeah.
who else could even be there? I guess. I mean, I don't know if Aubameyang maybe because he's from Gabon, so I don't know if they
Yeah,
qualify.
then I guess like Salah will be a beast as well
And
because
yeah, if Egypt doesn't qualify, I guess.
yeah,
I guess maybe Arsenal would be insane because I don't think Lacazette is on the French team anymore. So
no,
maybe they would
no.
just run away with the league.
So I guess we can come away with this saying that this is great for Arsenal fans after we started
Yeah,
out by saying it was terrible already. Maybe no, but I do think they will definitely have a break. I don't see it, but you're right on track there. Where it would be awesome, like The Replacements, the movie, the football movie. I don't know if you ever seen it.
yeah.
Like The Replacements come in, that would be hilarious. The second thing I wanted to touch on and about this really is obviously the United States didn't make the last World Cup. It sucked. It sucked for fans. It sucked for the United States. If the U.S. doesn't make this World Cup, like obviously it's the biggest event in the world, and every other country is going to be watching it. But if the U.S. doesn't make this World Cup, the audience numbers in the United States are going to be like zero, just because the USA isn't it, and it's in the middle of college football, NBA, NFL.
Well, I'm looking at I don't know what I'm looking at right now, actually. I guess I'm looking at the group stage, or I'm looking at the schedule, but it's all confusing because it all says TBD since no one knows the teams. But luckily I guess for everyone viewing, the times, it's probably not going to interfere with anything since it's in Qatar, so there's a big time change. It looks like group stage games will often be at like 2 a.m., which probably no one will watch unless you're like me who likes watching those games.
Yeah, I'll say I haven't watched those.
But all the round of 16 is 7 or 11 a.m. Pretty much everything is 7 or 11 a.m. So, I mean, that's my time. That's Pacific time. So it's probably a little easier for you.
Yeah,
But
I'm looking at the dates for it, like 21st of November. Like I can't imagine like instead of like, because I'll be honest, like like if Thanksgiving, like
that would be awesome if
I
there was a
agree.
game
Like
on
if the U.S.
Thanksgiving.
played in Thanksgiving,
That
I
would be
would
awesome.
100% be full on, eat my meal, and then be done. I'm gonna watch soccer for the rest of the day instead. Like I don't care about the NFL. I don't want to watch the Lions play the Packers. I'd
Yeah.
much rather watch a World Cup game.
Well, and if it is like an international break or a World Cup break, whatever they call it, usually the international breaks are like it's like a depressing time. There's like they're not even playing important games.
Yeah,
This would be the best international break ever.
yeah.
You just watch like Man U play Man City, and then it's like England versus Spain the next day. That would be awesome.
Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up because it was literally just brought to my attention a little. Because I still thought they were playing it in summer because that's the only
I
time
did
that
too.
makes sense.
But I guess they'd like melt if they played in Qatar in the summer.
It is literally on the equator, which maybe we'll get into this on a future episode or something. But once Sepp Blatter got like convicted or whatever, indicted, or everything came down on him, they should have like redone everything. Just like put the vote back up to like, let's be honest, it should not be in Qatar.
Yeah, and then this is kind of random, but they're in the northern hemisphere. Qatar is because they're right above the equator. So, because like, well, the only reason I'm asking is their summer is the same as our summer, right?
I
So,
believe so. Yes.
okay,
That's why they did.
I mean, that must be why they did it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I mean, I imagine this is getting a little off topic, but the stadiums are going to look amazing, obviously. But all I'm going to think about is these slaves built this thing.
Yes, of
in
course.
2021.
Yeah, I'm on the Wikipedia page right now, and they have pictures of like all the stadiums and the locations. They look awesome. Like this
Yeah,
one, the Loose Sail Iconic Stadium holds 80,000. I mean, it looks like a gold cup. It looks great,
yeah.
like literally gold. Like so, yeah, they're gonna be great. But then in the back of your head, you're gonna be like,
This is
well,
odd.
like in this 90 minutes, probably five guys died while making the stadium.
Yeah,
So. But like I said, they should have gone back and redone everything, but whatever. I think it'll be one of the more interesting World Cups. I do. It'll just be weird, but
for
it'll be
sure.
interesting. So let's get back into La Liga. Um, who won it last year?
Atletico.
Okay. Okay. What was the finish? Do you know?
It was. I can tell you. One sec. It was like a. I think it was like it came down to the last day, if I remember correctly. So it was Atletico at 86 points. Real was second with 84. Barcelona third, 79. Sevilla fourth, 77.
Okay. No, well, yeah. I mean that is a little odd that Barcelona fell that far, but I guess since we're talking about La Liga, Barcelona's in real trouble with money, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and basically, it's from what I've been reading. Basically, it's like it's all Antoine Griezmann's fault because they
That's
gave him
they're
so much
actually
money.
they're they're like I've seen reports they're in advanced talks to swap Griezmann for Atletico Madrid's Saul Niguez. Like so he's going to
Yeah,
go back to Atletico.
yeah.
He's been
So
terrible for Barcelona. He's been terrible.
well, and this is kind of it's not really off topic, but it seems like Barcelona, like obviously their academy builds these midfield players. They're insane. Which
Mhm.
Pedri didn't go through the academy. Do you know that?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know where he came from. He just arrived this year, right?
Yeah, I remember reading it. I can't remember now, but yeah, he didn't come up through the academy, which is shocking to me
Shocking.
because
Yeah.
which the way he plays, it's like he was literally born
Iniesta.
and like
Yeah.
6 months later he was playing Tiki Taka. So
Yeah.
yeah. But I guess going on that, I think I at least the top three, or I think they'll probably stay the same. I think I'm not going to pick one right now, but I will say obviously the two Madrids and Barcelona in the top three, and then the fourth I think because I don't think they've sold many players. I think they've been. I know they haven't sold Pau Torres, who's a
Mhm.
pretty good defensive player. I think Villarreal kind of comes back, and I think they finished fourth. And then if we want to go to fifth, I think Valencia comes back strong this year as well.
Wow, Valencia finished 13th.
Yeah.
Wow. I think it's Sevilla stays in fourth, honestly. I actually think there's a little bit of a gap between those four teams and the rest. I do think Villarreal is probably the next one. I mean, they did win the Europa League against Man United, but
they like purely beat us. They were better.
yeah.
I forget what the next question is. Basically, Barcelona is looking to live off of free transfers because apparently they're basically all in on Aguero on a free transfer up top, I believe. Correct?
Mhm.
So, but it just seems like Liverpool, or not Liverpool, Barcelona does that. Like I said, they have their midfielders and then they just go out and buy wingers and buy forwards. And I think it's starting to hurt them because they have so many players that they bring up through their academy, and then they get to the first team squad, and then they just bring in I think Aguero will be fine there, but like a Luis Suarez kind of like he
Mhm.
was good there, but he never really kind of fit in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I If we're
but
picking who we think is going to win, I actually think Barcelona is going to win.
I
I
agree.
think I think just because Atletico won, they're going to be the most disappointing because I think they probably fall to third or fourth. And then I think it's a tight-ish race between Barcelona and Madrid, Real, but I think Barcelona wins. Just because Madrid, they just look to be having their own problems with Hazard and
Yeah, I mean,
everything.
My most disappointing team, I think, will be Madrid. Who's their new manager? I can't.
It's it's the Everton guy. What's his name?
Oh, Ancelotti. It's
Yeah.
Ancelotti. He had success over there. I think
Mm-hmm.
the league is so weird. They just bring back all these random coaches that they've had in the past. I think
Yeah.
they're not going to be as good as. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they finish fourth. Vinicius was supposed to be this like savior for them. He's been okay at best. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
Hazard's been horrible. Isco's probably on his way out. I saw Spurs and Chelsea were looking at him. I remember Isco, like I don't know, 5, 6 years ago was like one of the best players, like best midfielders in the world, and it just
Yeah.
seems like a lot of players they transfer into Barcelona or Real Madrid and they just get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. I think definitely. There's a lot of like random players you see on like Arsenal or Everton that are like you're like, oh, they're loaned from Madrid. Like Danny Ceballos. I feel like he's been on Arsenal forever, but he's like, I want to win with Madrid. I was like, when are you on Madrid?
Yeah, when are you going back there, bud? Like, and then I guess it goes right into most disappointing player.
I don't think you can even say Hazard again.
God, we're getting good at this. I was going to say, I don't know if you can say Hazard because he's been a disappointment.
I'm gonna say, I think Luis Suarez takes a big step down for Atletico.
Okay, I can see that. I'm going to go with the younger guy, actually Madrid guy. I think Rafael Varane's going to have a down year simply for the fact that it seems like he's been on and off confirmed to United for the past, basically since the Euro was going on.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like that's going to get done. So I think he kind of goes into the season like not knowing, and then he goes into the winter transfer market and is like, am I going now? So it would not surprise me if he had a bad season. Luis Suarez, you really never know with him. I'm almost back to the point with Luis Suarez. Like, I just want him to start biting people again. It was funny, so
More
just start
exciting.
biting people again.
Yeah.
So, but I mostly agree with that. I'll come out and say it right now. I think an English team wins the Champions League this year. Again, 2 in a row. And then, so I think who will go the farthest? I actually think Atletico will go the farthest. For whatever reason, Diego Simeone, like they're always so good in the Champions League.
Yeah. I
wouldn't even say they're so good. Their style of play is
they're just good at winning.
Yeah, their style of play is not exciting. I hate watching Atletico Madrid. They basically have just a great defense, but yeah, that's who I think is first.
Another person I think is going to have a disappointing season is João Felix again. But he's another one where like, can he have another disappointing season?
And he's what, 21 now or 20?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, he definitely. I remember that summer when he was all the talk. Like he was the next Messi, the next what?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, and I will say also him picking Atletico Madrid was always an odd choice to me.
Yeah.
Especially because he's more of a forward-lying player. But yeah.
Yeah. I think for who goes farthest in the Champions League, it's a little bit of hoping, but I think it's Barcelona again. I think this season they're going to figure a lot of stuff out, and their midfield is going to get a lot stronger with Pedri kind of becoming like the focal point of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, maybe I hope Aguero helps them like as like an actual out and out striker, because they were playing like Braithwaite and Griezmann up there, so I think Aguero will help.
Yeah.
And he knows Messi; they're like best friends, so that'll be nice.
So I'm going to skip down real quick to the biggest transfer player. I think it will be Aguero, just because I think he's going to be given so many chances in front of the net.
Yeah, I agree.
We kind of talked about threats outside of it. You said Sevilla. I kind of said Villarreal. I think those guys will be threats, and they might be. Win like out of the 6 game matches they play against the top 3, they might win 1 or 2 or whatever. I I don't think anyone other than Atletico, Real, or Barcelona is winning the league, though.
Yeah, I agree.
The biggest matches, I don't have that pulled up, but that's always the Copa del Rey,
Yeah.
both the Madrid derbies, and then obviously El Clasico.
Yeah.
It seems to me almost La Liga has gotten a little deeper, though. Like, it used to really, really just be those three, and then it was kind of a coin flip on, whoever. But yeah, I think they've built some depth. Like I said, you like Sevilla. I think Villarreal has a good year, and I also think Valencia at least finishes in the top 10.
Yeah, they have to. Well, and I think Athletic Club, I think they beat Barcelona in some final like last year, one of those Spanish leagues. So I mean, they should be better too.
Yeah, I do remember that a little bit.
I think it's when Messi got a red card for smacking someone in the face.
When was this? I never heard about that.
Yeah,
he smacked someone in the face.
Not like he like punched him, but like the guy was kind of running near him, and he kind of like wrapped around him and like.
Oh,
it was a light. Oh. It was a light tap.
This is going way back to the Euro. I don't know who it was. I think it was Chiellini. It was later in the match. I think it was tied 1-1. I can't remember who was going around it. Yeah, he straight up clotheslined him. Like, I wasn't shocked that he only got a yellow because it's Chiellini. If that's someone else, I think they at least look at that for a red card. Like, you don't think so?
I don't think so. I think because there's like a very broad thing about pulling the jersey. Like, it's kind of just like automatically yellow. And it wasn't like he was like at the goal. Like, he was at the halfway line and there was defenders back. But I mean, you love to see it from Chiellini. Like, that's what you want.
Yeah, and he knew it too. And the best part about it, he knew he was going to get a yellow card, but he knew he wasn't going to get a red card. He was like, "This is better," and that's the benefit you have with those veteran guys. The only thing I had to say about it, really, I mean, that's a flag in the NFL.
Yeah, well, it was seeing it in like normal time, it didn't look that bad, but the replay, he like really got it. Yeah, he really got him like by the scruff of his collar. Yeah.
It was, yeah. And I guess we can go breakout star, top goal scorer. I would say top goal scorer. It's going to come from Barcelona, probably. I would say Messi or Aguero.
I think it's going to be Messi. I'm actually going to go with Benzema. I think it's going to be Benzema.
All right. So real quick. Have you just fallen back in love with Messi now that he finally won an international?
Well, I was always Messi over Ronaldo. But I mean, like I've said it a lot, like seeing Messi happy, like just as a soccer fan, it's just nice to see. Because like you see him cry like after the World Cup, after the last Copa, after the Champions League, like it's just like, oh, it's too much disappointment he's just so like good. I like to see him happy.
I've always been a Ronaldo guy. Maybe we'll do an episode at some point where we do an hour-long debate on who's better, and we'll obviously end with no answer, just like the stupid LeBron Jordan debates. But yeah, I like seeing Messi win the Copa. It is weird to think that probably the two best players of this last generation, like by far the two best players, each only ended up winning one like major tournament with their teams. So that's just interesting.
Unless they win Qatar. Unless Argentina, Portugal final. I'm calling it.
I will. I mean, you want to talk? I mean, that would be the biggest match in the history of the world.
It probably would.
Like, yes, that would be, yeah. And the best part is, hopefully, I think the best part would be if both of them were just ghosts during the game and they didn't do anything.
Would be. That's what usually happens in finals. Like the best player doesn't do that much because they get targeted by the defense.
They shut them down. Yeah. Anything else you have on the Liga before we get to our little Mount Rushmore 5-a-side team?
I don't think so. That's all.
Okay. So you know what? Do you want to go first or second? Obviously, it's a snake draft. So do you know what a snake draft is?
I'll go second. So is this between La Liga and Serie A?
I was just gonna go everywhere.
Oh, everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's do just these
We-
2 leagues, and we'll do that for each episode.
Okay. Okay.
You can go. You can take first pick.
So then I get 1, you get 2, I get 2, you get 2.
Yeah, I'll write them down so we remember.
Okay. All right. Liga and Serie. Damn it, I wanted to go second.
You can do any formation you want. Just 1 goalkeeper and then 4 others.
Yeah. I'll go Ronaldo. 1.
Right.
Okay. I'll see what you pick because I think you have an easy choice.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Messi. Second, I'm gonna go. Ooh, I'm gonna go Messi and. Oh, this is tough.
Shouldn't be.
I know it shouldn't be, but I'm not thinking right.
I'm gonna start a clock soon.
Okay. I'm gonna go Chiesa.
Okay. Big mistake. Big mistake.
I don't know. I couldn't think of anyone. Panicking.
Oh shit! No, it's not. He doesn't play for them anymore.
You're gonna go Donnarumma, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, he plays for PSG.
Fuck. Okay. Yeah. Damn it. That was so. Okay. All right. That wasn't terrible then. Okay. Okay. All right. Hold on. I gotta think about this. You know what? All right. I'll go Pedri,
Okay.
and then I'll take Sergino Dest.
Interesting. These are my. Oh no, these are not my last 2. I'm gonna go. I need a defender. I'm gonna take Delict.
Okay. Ah, damn it. Fuck you.
And then what else do I want here? I need a nice midfielder. I'm gonna take Tony Cruz.
Okay. All right. Actually, Serie and okay. I'm gonna go with Ron.
Okay.
And all right, goalie. I'll go Ter Stegen in the goal.
Okay. So then I just need a keeper now. So I guess I'll take Courtois. I was just looking at the rosters. A name we didn't even mention for Barcelona that they got is Memphis Depay.
I know. And I should have brought it up because I have a thing. I had the Liga preview pulled up. And as I was talking about Messi, or I was talking about maybe Aguero, I saw Depay on there, and I was like, maybe we should bring it up, but we didn't. No,
Yeah.
I think I'll say this. I hope that's a good move for them. I hope that's a good move for him. He's been bouncing around. He was terrible for United. He's still rather young, so I hope he's good for Barcelona. So
all right. You want to say your team?
All right. So what am I going with? All right. I don't really know what formation I'm going to go with. You know what? I'll go with a 1-1-2 or no. 2-1-1. Yeah, 2-1-1. I'll have Varane and Dest in the back, with Pedri in the middle and Ronaldo up front and Ter Stegen in the goal. I would also like to say Dest. The only reason I picked him is because he's very good going forward. We're going to be a very offensive team, So he's going to run the wings, and I like my team. I wish I would have picked Delight. I would much rather have Delight over Ferran, but okay.
All right.
Yours was all right. You got Messi.
I'm gonna run a 1-1-2. I got Messi and Chiesa up top, Tony Kroos in the middle, and De Ligt at the back with Courtois between the sticks.
Okay. Oddly enough, I think that's a pretty even.
Yeah, I think it's pretty even.
I think overall your team is probably better.
I think I panicked with the Chiesa pick.
I think you did too. I think
I couldn't think of anyone. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, you definitely panicked with that. Delight was a great pick. Cruz was interesting.
I needed someone for the midfield.
Yeah. I think they're rather even. It's Ter Stegen been good the last couple of years? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it was between those two and Szczesny for. Oh my God! I didn't pick Oblak.
I see. That's what.
I forgot about him.
I didn't know how. Like this shows you how much smarter Michael is than me at this stuff. I was looking at it because all I did was do a real quick search for the best keepers in La Liga, and it was Oblak was the first one that came up, and then Courtois and Ter Stegen. But I was like, wait, I remember Oblak playing for Atletico like 6 years ago. He's got to be like 38.
He's still there. Oh, yeah. I forgot.
I think he's not like 38 either. I think he's like in his low 30s, I would say.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all good.
Yeah. I think we did a pretty good job. They're pretty even. Yeah. I'll make a graphic and I'll probably put it out on social media at some point. But we still don't have a name for the podcast yet. It's Tiki Taka right now. Scorpion Kick. We'll figure it out. And then hopefully next week, obviously you want to do Bundesliga. Well, yeah, we still have time to do it. Okay, yeah. Next week we'll do Bundesliga and League One.
Sure.
And then we can obviously probably preview some of the Gold Cup, the end latter stages of it. Some matches this week. Well, all these guys are playing this weekend. Spurs are playing. PSG is playing this weekend. Bayern. Arsenal's actually playing Rangers, which they could lose again. Lyon and Wolfsburg, United and Roma are all playing this weekend. I don't know the TV schedule. I don't know if any of them will be on TV. Probably some of them will be. But it always is nice to get a good look at the younger guys who will probably be out on loan this winter. So just that for to think about. And then I think we both expect the U.S. to win tonight.
I hope so. I mean, I don't even know where their opponent is from. So
it's down in the Caribbean. It's it can't be bigger than the state of Maine. So yeah, it can't.
Can it even be bigger than Rhode Island? Really?
Yeah, no, it can't. It's not.
U.S. They're definitely the favorite, even though I know nothing about either of the teams really.
Yeah, and then the U.S. obviously plays Canada on Sunday. I guess that should be a more interesting match. I think they'll probably win or hopefully win, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then kind of off track soccer just to end it. Thoughts on the finals so far?
It was terrible refereeing yesterday. Like one of the worst games I've ever seen. On both sides. There was bad calls on both sides, I thought.
I won't say much. It is funny. One of the sites I work for football, Brown stuff, they're all Green Bay guys. They're all Milwaukee fans. So I just rile them up on Twitter all the time. It's great. I'm still like hardcore cheering for the Suns just because Milwaukee's boring. Like I just don't want to see Milwaukee win. So
the only thing on the refs, there was that one Devin Booker call.
I thought that was all ball.
But it may have
been.
You
have to call it. I understand it gets called every time in the NBA.
It may have been at the top, but he wrapped his other arm around him and his body went into him. So that for sure a foul. Should have been fouled out. Wasn't called. And then there was just a lot of questionable calls. And then later in the game, 20 seconds left, they trap Chris Middleton. The Suns trap him. And they just call a foul, but no one touched him because they're just expecting it. And Giannis didn't even step out of bounds to take the ball out. Like he took the ball out from inside. So, but it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah,
2-2, best of 3 now. You get more basketball games, so it's fine with me.
yeah, I agree. And obviously you had a bad game last night from Chris Paul, which probably will be the last one he plays.
Hopefully.
Last thing I'll say I agree the Booker thing was a foul, but the biggest thing on that on my end is what was he doing?
Yeah, I really don't.
Just let him shoot the layup.
But he's always had that kind of where he has a little bit of like a temper. Not like he was getting upset, but like he's a little like rash.
Never seen Devin Booker talk and yell at the refs more than last night.
He's a little rash with like his actions. So like it doesn't surprise me that he did that. It surprised me that anyone would do that with 5 fouls if you're like the best player, but
but
it worked out for him. Maybe he knew they wouldn't call it.
I going back to that, like I almost just think the ref just like was kind of like, I don't know what to do. Like I don't want to foul this guy out, but so
because they probably expected him not to foul, like the opposite of what they did.
So when he goes at him, he's like the ref's like
what are you doing,
down
Devin?
here. Yeah, his whistle's like down to his side. He's like, what? I don't know.
Yep.
All right. Well, we will see you guys next week. Probably release some trailers this weekend, and then I'll hopefully get that graphic up by the end of the week that people can vote on who has the best 5-a-side team. I don't know. Might have to play FIFA with at some point, 5-a-side. Sure. I don't know if you can do that, but we'll see. Anything else, Michael?
That's all.
All right.
Have a nice week, everyone.
See you guys next week.